Now at 5, first the governor, now Mayor Joe Hogsett in quarantine due to possible exposure to COVID-19. What's next for the mayor and his wife?
It's now official. Another big event will not take place in Indianapolis due to the virus, at least for now. The new day for the Indy-hosted NBA All-Star Game.
Coming up, how a local food pantry is serving thousands of families this holiday season.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 5, streaming now.
Now at 5, umbrellas up and keeping a close eye on the radar as heavy rain moves across Indiana with the potential of storms on this Thanksgiving Eve.
WRTV Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is joining us in studio tonight, tracking what's ahead for the holiday. Kevin.
And I think most would say we've had enough rain. It's been a very wet day. This is the most that I've seen. Bloomington, almost 1.6 inches of rain. We're just shy of an inch in Indianapolis, but these are not rainfall totals. We still have rain in progress. You should be seeing the west side of Indy looking over White River, but the low clouds blocking that view. 54 Kokomo, Indy with some heavier rain in the metro area. Here's the radar. One line, two lines, and then a third one back in portions of Illinois. Let's take a closer look at this. May see some 40-mile-per-hour gusts. Bedford on up to Nashville, certainly torrential rainfall embedded in this as it moves to the north and east. Heavier rain eastern Morgan County, destined for Franklin, Whiteland, Greenwood. Then you go to Indy, the north side up to Frankfort and Noblesville. We're not done yet. We can't turn our back on the area of low pressure that's in Illinois. That will continue to spiral. Another round of rain and maybe an isolated stronger storm. That's why we have the lower marginal risk for severe storms across central Indiana, really between now and I'd say 7 or 8 o'clock. It's fairly limited opportunity. 7 o'clock, the back edge of the rain just west of Indy, and then you'll see it pinwheel to the north and east and leave by 11 o'clock. The wind will be strong even outside of any of the downpours, which could bring some stronger winds to ground level. Winds will gust close to 40 miles per hour through 11 o'clock and then calm down as we move our way toward Thanksgiving. We'll talk about your hourly Thanksgiving forecast, what improvements are made through the day tomorrow. Coming up.
Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett and his wife are now in quarantine. His office reported today they had close contact with someone last weekend who has since tested positive for COVID-19. We're told neither the mayor nor his wife are showing any symptoms and plan to be tested at the end of the week based on guidance from the Marion County Public Health Department. The mayor will remain in quarantine through December 4th.
Meanwhile, Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb and his wife remain in quarantine after members of their security detail tested positive. The governor and First Lady tested negative but won't resume their normal schedule until December 1st. He did take part in today's weekly coronavirus briefing, but virtually. He said he and his wife are doing fine. The governor did say he plans to meet next week with local hospital officials from across the state to comb through the latest data and get more input on moving forward. A lot of that data will likely originate from the state's color-coded map. All but one of Indiana's 92 counties are listed in the moderate orange or highest risk red categories of coronavirus spread. 17 counties are in the red, which is down from 21 last week. But there is concern the number will shift upward as we head into Thanksgiving.
Based on the spikes we've seen after our holidays, I'm concerned that many of these orange counties will wind up in red in the next 2 weeks. I cannot repeat this enough. Bringing together large groups of people from outside your immediate household puts everyone at risk for COVID-19. Our hospitals are being inundated with COVID patients. There is still time to make the hard choice today so that you can enjoy many more tomorrows with your loved ones.
And the steady climb of record hospitalizations continues. 3,363 people with COVID or suspected cases of COVID were in hospitals around the state as of yesterday. The number of available ICU beds have dropped from yesterday to just under 22%. Available ventilators are down slightly, but still around 72%. The state also reports a little more than 6,000 new positive cases. Those results recorded between November 13th and yesterday. There are also 63 more reported deaths of people with COVID. They occurred between November 10th and yesterday. The statewide total is now more than 5,200.
The NBA All-Star Game, set for Indianapolis in February, won't be held as scheduled, and Indy's opportunity to host has been pushed to 2024. The Pacers announced today that public health conditions prevented an appropriately executed fan-focused event. Indy will now host the big game on Sunday, February 18th, 2024. Plans for a revised All-Star Game in 2021 will be announced at a later date.
About 1 in 5 Americans are turning to food banks now, according to a Consumer Report survey. This time of year, many are hoping to share a meal as a family, but that can be expensive and hard to come by for some due to the pandemic. WRTV's Alyssa Donovan shows us how a community food bank found a way to serve Thanksgiving meals to thousands of Hoosiers.
A food pantry is ensuring that thousands of families have a Thanksgiving meal this holiday, increasing their distribution for Thanksgiving by 50% this year.
Every family gets a turkey, Jenny-O or a butterball, depending on what we have, some potatoes, a box of mixed dry goods.
I'd say 50% of the people that are coming through now are people who have never used pantries before in their lives.
Like Troy Stickles and his mom.
Well, right now I'm out of work and she's on doctor's leave, so we're doing it to help out, kind of help make ends meet.
Stickles used to volunteer at Pantry 279 out of Ellettsville. Now he's benefiting from their kindness. The pantry, named after the Girl Scout troop that started the nonprofit back in 2015.
The last of them just started college this year. They graduated in May.
The small community pantry growing quickly in the last 5 years, even more so in the last few months due to the pandemic.
When COVID started in March, we were at about 3,000 to 3,500 people a month. Right now, we're at about 6,500 people a month.
They knew there would be a larger need for Thanksgiving meals this year, so they partnered with Hoosier Hills Food Bank in Bloomington to help with distribution.
They came up with some food, we came up with some food, put our resources together.
Loading 2,500 meals into cars this past weekend to ensure people like Stickles would not go hungry this holiday.
I think this is great.
I'm Alyssa Donovan, WRTV.
Pantry 279 also does home deliveries for people who can't leave their house. They are serving Hoosiers in 27 counties, and after Thanksgiving, they will still be serving thousands of people and are in need of donations. You can find the details on how to help on our website at WRTV.com. Just click on this story.
Now to Democracy 2020, and today President-elect Joe Biden called on all American families to do their part to stop the spread of the coronavirus. The message was part of a Thanksgiving address Biden delivered in Wilmington, Delaware this afternoon. ABC's Faith Abube reports.
As American families head into an unusual Thanksgiving holiday amid a surging pandemic, President-elect Joe Biden with the message of gratitude and unity.
So yes, it's been a really hard year, particularly hard for over 250,000 people and their families. But I still believe we have much to be thankful for.
As of today, the coronavirus has killed more than 260,000 Americans and continues its unrelenting damage across the country. The president-elect using his speech to empathize with families sitting down at dinner tables this Thanksgiving filled with grief.
For those who've lost a loved one, I know that this time of year can be especially difficult. Believe me.
3 days since his formal transition began, the Biden team is now in contact with every federal agency. Transition spokesperson Jen Psaki adding the president-elect is preparing for his first classified presidential daily briefing.
We expect the first briefing to take place on Monday.
Though Biden and the president have yet to speak, Trump administration officials are so far cooperating with the transition. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on Fox News.
We'll do everything that's required by law. We'll make this work.
Meantime, the president with no public event on his agenda, instead sending his attorneys to Pennsylvania to discuss the election with GOP state lawmakers. It comes a day after the state certified its election results for Biden. Rudy Giuliani, whose close associate tested positive for COVID-19 just this morning, speaking at the meeting.
We don't want to disenfranchise anyone. We want to disqualify 682,000 votes.
And it's unclear whether the president will have any more public events this week. However, yesterday, he did wish every American a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. Faith Abube, ABC News, Washington.
While we don't know about future public events, the president is still taking action. Less than an hour ago, we learned that he pardoned former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Flynn is the second Trump associate convicted in the Russia probe to be granted clemency clemency by the president. Earlier this year, the president commuted the sentence of longtime confidant Roger Stone. Still ahead this hour on WRTV, it's been a tough year for so many workers. The university announcing today to give their employees a bonus for all of their hard work.
And coming up, we honor one woman who makes it her mission to ensure girls have what they need to become successful women in the Indianapolis community.
On the move, we're tracking pockets of heavy rainfall. We'll talk about the next couple of hours and look towards some drier days in my forecast.
A nice bonus will be coming to Purdue University faculty and staff in West Lafayette just in time for Christmas. University officials today announced plans to reward those employees with a bonus of $750 for their, quote, heroic work to keep the campus open during the pandemic. More than 15,000 faculty, staff, and graduate student staff hired before September 1st will get the money in their checks in December. Part-time staff will get a prorated amount. Purdue President Mitch Daniels said those in executive-level positions will not get the bonus. The first college football playoff rankings are out, and the 12th ranked team on the list is IU. It's the first time in program history that IU has been ranked in the CFB playoff poll. The Hoosiers are 4-1 after losing to Ohio State on Saturday. The top 4 schools on the list: Alabama, Notre Dame, Clemson, and Ohio State. And congratulations to Colts rookie kicker Rodrigo Blankenship. He's been named AFC Special Teams Player of the Week. He converted 4 out of 5 field goals, including the overtime game winner in Sunday's 34-31 victory over Green Bay. He ranks second in the NFL in field goals made and is tied for second in total points this season.
Tonight, we honor an unsung hero in our Indianapolis community with the Jefferson Award for Multiplying Good. This woman's goal is to empower young girls and provide them with a listening ear. Sonia Cook's mission is to make sure the girls who go through her Girl Talk Inc. program have all the tools, education, and resources that they need to go out in the real world and say, I can do this. These girls are being recognized for graduating from a Girl Talk Inc. course. The woman behind the empowering organization has no idea she would also be honored as well.
We have a Jefferson Award for Multiplying Good. So I'll have you put it on. So this is for our unsung heroes in Indianapolis, and it's people that really go out of their way to make a difference, like Sonia is with all of these young girls that are going to be young women in the future of this community. So congratulations, you are a winner of the Jefferson Award, which is such an honor.
Sonia Cook created Girl Talk Inc. Indy 5 years ago as a way to reach girls and teach them life lessons so they are well equipped to make knowledgeable choices as they grow into young adults.
I want the girls to feel loved. I want them to feel like this is a true sisterhood. I want them to know when they come to Girl Talk that I can be totally transparent. I don't have to worry about others judging me for things that I may say, things that I may do, because at the end of the day, we are all trying to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be.
And that is exactly how these girls who just finished an 8-week Girl Talk Inc. session feel.
She is so loving. She really listens to you, not like, like listens, like she actually puts her input on things, and she knows and she gives you advice that is really good, and she just doesn't think of you as another person and moves on. I mean, when you meet her, it's like a connection there.
She reassured me that I was smart, I was kind, and I was beautiful. Miss Sonia is really, really amazing. I love Miss Sonia so much. And I think everybody else should know that she's always going to be there for you.
Girl Talk Inc. is open for any 10 to 18-year-old Indianapolis area girl. Sonia is implementing important skills into these girls' minds. Each set of courses focuses on specific topics like personal finances, health and wellness, conflict resolution, self-esteem and image, as well as substance abuse, to name a few. It's lessons that Sonia says she wishes someone had helped her with when she was their age.
It feels good to learn those lessons from her, because you're following in the footsteps of an entrepreneur that has her own business and that's getting herself out there and trying to get more people into her program.
I've learned about financial literacy, about toxic relationships and healthy relationships,
whether it be friendships or regular relationships. She doesn't make it about her. She makes it about everybody else. She puts everybody before her, and then she takes care of everybody.
And while these girls look up to her,
She is really a special person, and she's really impacted my life to be the best person I could be.
they mean just as much or even more to Sonia.
And if I can just change one girl's mindset, then that makes a difference. These girls make me want to get up every single day and go at it again. And so they are my motivation.
And the next Girl Talk Inc. Indie session will begin January 9th. It is $25 per girl for the entire 2 months, which covers the courses, lunches, and a Girl Talk gift bag at the end of the session. To learn more about Girl Talk, sign up for a session or donate and volunteer. Check out this story on WRTV.com. And you can nominate someone you know who is making a difference. Just go to our website, WRTV.com, select the menu and the live section, and click on Multiplying Good.
Well, time for your WRTV Storm Team forecast, and it has been a dreary, rainy, gray day all day. Kind of one of those days you just want to stay in bed and listen to the rain from outside, right?
Or bake, right?
Bake. Get that stuff done.
Yeah, I bet you, I'm no expert in the kitchen, but I'm thinking baking is today and cooking is tomorrow. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Complete sense.
Amanda told me that she made her first pumpkin pie today.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
Never done it before.
We will taste test later tonight. 9,700. Remember I showed you Bloomington had almost 1.6 inches of rain. These are not totals because we still have rain in the area. There's the low cloud cover as we look west from Indy, as the top of the building's shrouded in the low clouds. 54 in Kokomo and in Indianapolis, 59 down in Shelbyville. Okay, I just want to show you the big picture. Watch here around St. Louis and then moving to the northeast. See that little swirl? That's the area of low pressure, and that is the spark for these little rounds of showers and maybe a thunderstorm. We'll keep our eye on that because any potential for severe weather here would be in the next couple of hours. I think it would be isolated, but some of these storms could rotate, which increases our likelihood that they produce some damaging wind. And we'll keep that in mind. Down to the south in Nashville, heavy rainfall that was moving to the north and east. You can see this band here headed for Peru, Logansport through Kokomo, Greentown, eventually Anderson and Marion. As we go to the south, this band has been the strongest with some 40-mile-per-hour gusts through Nashville headed toward Columbus and Shelbyville. Isolated severe storms. Whenever we talk about a marginal risk, we're talking about limited in coverage and in duration, so this will not be a long-lasting event. 7 o'clock tonight, there's your rain by 9, pushing north and east and then out of the state. We dry out overnight and should have a dry Thanksgiving with temperatures still in the 50s. 51 your high tomorrow, not a lot of sunshine. Friday, partly sunny, 53 degrees, a little colder as we go to the weekend, but we're still dry. So your hourly forecast tomorrow will battle cloud cover through the day. Noon, 48 degrees. We barely nudge into the low 50s, but it's a decent day if you want to get out and take a walk after the morning meal. Go for your walk, come back and revisit the table. Temperatures out of the west anywhere from, or wind out of the west anywhere from 10 to 15, becomes more southwest as we go into the afternoon hours. Thursday high temperatures range from a 47 to 52 degrees. 7-day forecast, as we mentioned, a little dry stretch there, and then potentially our first light accumulating snow. That typically happens by the 19th of this month, so we're running behind, but we'll keep our eye on some snow showers and a wintry mix Monday to the snow showers, and only 33 for the high Tuesday. Wednesday's high at 37 degrees. Amanda?
And we are just hours away from a magical Indianapolis holiday moment. The steps taken to prepare for the big event.
By this time tomorrow, this is what the downtown Airs clock will look like for the holiday season. The cherub back on its perch, but it's not there yet. Right now, the clock at the corner of Washington and Meridian Streets is a little bare, but overnight, it will mysteriously appear just like it has done for decades since 1947 to keep an eye on shoppers during the holidays. A lot of work has taken place in the off-season to get ready for this moment. Indiana Landmarks spearheaded the effort to repair and restore the bronze exterior and repair the interior water damage. The cherub itself even got buffed up for its big return. Everything is all set and ready to go for the holiday tradition to carry on.
We hope that this cherub and this tradition will bring a little cheer to the holiday season that might be missing otherwise, and also just to reinforce that we do have good and positive traditions here in Indianapolis, and we hope that people will come downtown and visit the cherub and visit the shops that really keep our community alive.
Look for the return of the cherub tomorrow on Good Morning Indiana. We'll be on the lookout.
The coronavirus can be dangerous for anyone, but it's had a devastating impact on nursing home residents and staff. Tonight, the stories from family who've lost loved ones in long-term care facilities and their message for everyone. That's tonight at 6 p.m. And how would you like to have a theater all to yourself and a couple dozen friends? Next at 5:30, the historic local theater looking to come up with a creative way to generate income.